Hey, welcome. I'm Jason, and this is smarthelping.com. What I want to go over with you guys today is the SaaS financial model template bundle. First of all, though, nice to meet you. Um, I've been doing financial modeling for, oh, about 7 years, and I love it. I started on Upwork. I took on essentially every single possible job I could in Excel and Google Sheets involving finance or real estate. My background was in accounting before that, but I wanted to get into financial modeling and building templates and doing consulting work in that capacity. So I just learned from dozens. Well, I've done over 400 jobs on Upwork. I've got a 100% success score. So I really put my heart and soul into learning, and I continue to learn today. And the product of that is what you see here on smarthelping.com. Now, what I want to go over with you is the specific software as a service templates. So I'll just go through each one briefly, and just note you can buy each one individually for the price you see here, or you can buy the whole template bundle, all the templates for one price of $289. So if we go through what you've got, we start with Enterprise SaaS. This is the best, most broad use model I've ever built. It has best in practice retention modeling for how your customers behave over time, what their contract value is over time, and the cohort that remains over time. You can also adjust the contract value and how that changes at each renewal period based on whatever the contract length is. It's got up to 3 customer tiers. It's got a fully integrated 3 statement model that works with all the assumptions. It's got scaling if you want to scale account executives and sales directors, customer service reps. Those scale with revenue based on ratios defined in the template. Uh, and this is a really good overall build. I've used it a lot in consulting. It works so smoothly. I use this all the time with customers that want to they got a SaaS product, and this can be used for month-to-month contracts, or it could be used for bigger contracts. Either one, it fits. Also, there is an option to collect all the cash flow or the cash receipts at the beginning of the contract period, or evenly over the contract length, whatever that might be, and that's all accounted for correctly on the balance sheet in the model. So that's Enterprise SaaS. It is more expensive, 175, but it is worth it, and that's the reason why that's the price. For anyone to go out and build this, you're going to pay $1,000 hands down just to get even close to where this is right now. If we go down here, we've got the standard SaaS. So this is one of the first SaaS templates I ever built. It is much more simplified than the enterprise model. It just has 4 pricing tiers. You can define your starting users, how they grow each month over the 5-year forecast period. They also can have one-time setup fee revenue, and then they've got churn. The expenses on this are pretty straightforward. You just define the total for each expense category, G&A, sales, marketing, R&D. Then you define a percentage for cost of goods sold. So it's a quicker model, but it does, you can see how users can change over time and create a cash flow, discounted cash flow analysis, and this also has a 3 statement model connected to it. Next up, number 3, pricing simulator. So this is something I wanted to build for any SaaS company to get in here and configure up to, I think I did up to 10, yeah, up to 10 customer configurations. And this one's so cool. So I've seen this all the time. Companies will go in, they'll try to figure out, well, we've got this enterprise SaaS service and we don't know what to price it at. Should we make a 50% margin on it? Should we make it 90%? So what you can do is go in and plug in all the assumptions related to a customer, the cost to service customers over time, the acquisition cost, what they're paying on average for the contract value, what their retention rate is. It does lifetime value. It does the present value of the lifetime. And you can compare that. You can configure up to 10 customers and figure out how you want to structure your pricing and terms and all that. So this is so valuable. Any SaaS company, if you have to be thinking about these things. It has what a customer acquisition cost comparison. It actually does a net present value because you've got essentially it shows what it takes to acquire a customer and what that customer produces revenue over time. And it's got bottom-up assumptions for how you're determining the cost of service, how you're determining the acquisition based on sales and marketing plus any ad spend, and it is fully is comprehensive. It accounts for everything you would ever want to account for, and you can really get powerful insight into what your SaaS business is actually, what the goal is, what your ideal customer looks like. So this one, SaaS Pricing Simulator, is amazing. Number 4, rolling revenue forecast. So this is one I came across a lot of clients that had issues with creating a rolling forecast for their SaaS companies, and that means it needs to look at any historical customers, how many exist, and what they are expected to do over the next X amount of months, up to 60 months in the future. Also, it needs to look at what you expect to add in customers and what that looks like for revenue in the future. And so I built this structure so you can go month by month, and every time you have a new month, it works in real time. You'll update your data, update your expectations about the future, and it will then give you your revenue forecast. So it's a rolling revenue forecast template for SaaS. Really great logic here. I'm really happy about this one. Next up, ratio-driven SaaS. So this was a template I tried to do where you're basically defining ratios for all the headcounts, and then all the revenue is coming from the amount of deals your account executives are doing per month. So there's a couple different types of SaaS organizations that this would fit, and it also has a 3-statement model connected to it. And you can do quota attainment. So, for example, your AEs might only do, they'll probably do lower performance at the beginning, and then over time they'll get better. So, all kinds of great logic in that one. Next up, we have product as a service. So, product as a service, this one is the example I always think of is a tablet where you're selling a tablet and it comes with a exclusive service that your customers can pay you monthly for. You also have like a Peloton or some bike device where you use it, but then you can also pay the company a monthly fee to get extra features. So product as a service is what it's called, and this is a general model to fit any product as a service organization, and it give you a nice forecast for what you expect to do in revenue, expenses, and so on. Okay, next up, security alarm. So this is pretty self-explanatory. Security alarm system and services. This is a business where you make money in 2 ways. One, recurring revenue from the security services that you're providing, and 2, from installing equipment, and you make a margin on, you're buying your security equipment from a vendor, and then you're selling it to the customer on installs. You're making a margin on that, as well as a monthly fee on the services. So this has all the logic to deal with that. I did some cool stuff with customer movements between pricing tiers on here as well. If you have multiple pricing tiers, and yeah, if you're looking at security alarm services, this is a great way to start out planning feasibility, or if you're trying to make some big changes, this will help as well. Next up, we got the mobile app. So it's a mobile app or a website, or essentially a client. The whole point of this was just to build a forecast that was based on traffic that you're driving to a website or an app, and then that traffic can be broken up into 5 pricing tiers. Those have churn. There's also a free pool in this one. It's got pretty granular expense details. It does have a 3-statement model. And note the security alarm services has a 3-statement model as well as a product as a service. But yeah, this is going to fit general SaaS, general website, but the main thing here is that it's driven off of traffic and how that converts into paying users over time. Now, the next one is just for mobile apps, and this is driven based on 3 streams of revenue. You've got ad revenue, you've got revenue from users paying not to see ads, and you also have in-app purchases. and I did up to 5. Essentially, you can define what percentage of the users buy each type of in-app purchase, up to 5 per month. And there's also advanced retention logic in this for how the customers exist over time and their value. There's a 3-statement model connected to this one as well. Next, freemium. This is one of the first freemium models I built, and it's based on you've got some amount of traffic is coming online. Some of it's free, some people can pay to not see ads. Some people will see ads. You make revenue from that, and you can define the dynamic start months for when you're switching to free traffic, or sorry, to a paid service from the freemium model, and it'll create a 5-year financial forecast, monthly and annual. Next up, we have lending as a service. So this is not technically it fits in SaaS. It's a software. This is for like a P2P lending company where they just connect people that want to invest in loans that they give out to other businesses or other people, and then they, get the platform facilitates the repayment and takes a fee. So the platform takes a fee on all the interest revenue and any other closing fees. You can configure all the fee setup there. And this is only for interest-only loans, by the way. And you can determine I think up to four um, loan terms. So like you could just say you can do 3-month terms, 6-month, 9-month, 12-month terms, or what have you. And this will show how that can scale over time based on loan settled. It'll show it'll show the interest collected on it based on interest rates for each loan type. It'll also show if there's any, closing fees or settlement fees that go to the loan investors, or also the platform if they're going to share in it. So that's got all the assumptions related to that type of business, basically a P2P platform. You could think of this as lending club if you're going to try to start a lending club business. Okay, LTV and CC Payback Planner. This is a great tool to use ongoing with your SaaS business over time. It's got a monthly tracker on it. It's also got a one-page calculator where you can put in different assumptions that are directly related to the lifetime value of your customer, as well as the customer acquisition cost and the amount of time it takes a customer to repay the cost it took to acquire them. This is very important when you're thinking about structuring your SaaS business, and it also has ongoing tracking formatting, so you can track your actual metrics over time just by inputting the high level figures for what actually happened for the SaaS business you're in. Okay, marketplace. So this is again not pure SaaS, but again, marketplace is think eBay, Amazon. It's just any online place. I guess technically it doesn't have to be online with how the assumptions work, but just any place where you've got a platform that's facilitating people to come and sell stuff, and then obviously they're selling stuff, so other people are buying it, and there's fees related to that the platform takes. You can define things like average value of an order or a sale, average listing value, the percentage of things they actually sell. You can also define in here, I believe I did do ad revenue as well, if the marketplace is going to have revenue from ads. So lots of cool stuff in that one. Continuing on here, we have a professional services agency. Now, this wasn't a SaaS business per se, but it's a recurring revenue business where you're defining up to 3 types of professionals that sign on with your company, up to 3 types, and they can scale over time. And then those professionals have a quota of the amount of business they bring in, and then the professional services firm or agency will take a fee on all the billables that the professionals are billing out. So this is going to fit a lot of different types of businesses. I just did one with an agency that's doing, professional photography, and they provide all kinds of services. Or basically, you've got talent that you are providing clients for, they're billing out to the client, and then the agency or firm's taking a fee on all that revenue. So again, it's not exactly a SaaS, but I figured I include it in here because it does have some retention logic, and it has some of the logic that kind of mirrors what a SaaS company has. So I just put it in here. And then finally, you've got the ad network. So this is going to be like Google AdWords, Bing AdWords, Yahoo AdWords, or whatever their ad network is called. It doesn't have to be online. It could be, online or offline advertising agencies also exist with billboards and commercials and all that. But there's all kinds of logic here to show, okay, how many, basically how many you're connecting publishers and advertisers. What is the available inventory of ads to fill? How many publishers are there? And there's some logic in there to figure out, how much volume the ad network is doing and the fee that they take on that volume. Also note there, the pitch deck visualization template is included in this purchase for free, as well as I would suggest checking out down here. We've got a general 3-statement model. If you just want a base template, note all of these except for the ad network. I will be upgrading that soon. But all these other templates have a 3-statement financial model integrated into them. Also, check out the customer curve and retention curve model. This is if you don't have a linear retention curve or a linear spend curve for what your customers, the behaviors of your customers. So you can model out what they look like, and that can inform pricing and all kinds of other things. Okay, I know it was a long video. If you got to the end, hey, congratulations. If you did get to the end, hey, subscribe, like the video. Again, check out, there's so much value here. You can get the whole bundle for $289, or you can buy it individually. And I'll see you guys on the next one.